ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಎಷ್ಟತ್ರ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಅದ. ಕೊಂಟಾಳ ಸಿಟ್ ಕೊಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I, Akanksha, an associate at the EduLaw, welcome to all of you in today's quick and easy tips to crack upcoming legal exam session. In few words, I'll discuss about the EduLaw. In legal education, we close the gap between theory and practice. We bring business knowledge into the world of legal education, making it simpler, quicker, and more affordable to master the practical skill you will need to interact with clients more effectively, swiftly, and economically. We are constantly updating our legal blogs, legal news, recent case analysis, important case laws, free important MCQs in the EduLaw quiz portal, and much more. You can check our website link, which have been posted in the comment section below. Today's speaker is Dr. Nidhi Singh Arora, Assistant Professor at Amity University. She is the ex-academician in Career Launcher and the Time for CLAT educator. She was done with her LLM at National Law University, Bengaluru. She also completed her PhD at Lucknow University. We welcome you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Akansha. First of all, good evening to everyone. And am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you are able to hear me out?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So before we start with the topic that we have chose for this webinar, which is very, very important and substantial for the upcoming exams and to the students, those who are going to appear for this exam, I want to know that are you comfortable with English only, or you are comfortable with me, some Hindi and some English?
Ma'am, English will be much preferred.
Okay, fine. All right. So, so we will be talking about few exams which are upcoming. The first I'll talk about CLAT, which involves both graduation and post-graduation exams, that is LLB and LLM. Then we have All India Bar exam, that is again upcoming, I think in December only. And apart from that, I'll be talking about APO, ADPO, APO, and then later on we'll talk about judiciary, because judiciary is not very nearing. It is going to come next year, but then the preparation has to be done beforehand. So now I want to first tell you all that, first of all, you do not fear about the upcoming exams, and that only less number of days or couple of weeks are left. Because see, it doesn't matter that how many days or how many weeks are left. It is about the confidence in your preparation that is important. So even if you've got a month in your hand, which we are having right now before our coming exams, so you are able to crack it, right? So how you are going to crack it and how the strategy has to be maintained, that you have to learn through this webinar in a very quick session that I have right now. So now see, Acha, let me know that how many of you are CLAT aspirants, UG and PG? Can you just raise your hands if that option is available? Okay. Okay. All right, quite a few. Okay, and how many are for AIBE? Okay, good number. All right. Okay, fine. So, see, for CLAT PG and CLAT UG students, it's very important to understand because I'm going to deal with this exam first, that you need to have, first of all, a ready hand at what the syllabus is. Okay, so I hope you know the syllabus. I'm not going to give you a lot detail about the syllabus, because so we have current affairs, we have legal reasoning, logical reasoning, English, and quants. So I'll be telling you how to deal with legal reasoning. Okay, because we are having a lot of subjects in legal reasoning itself. So like we have very important topics that come from constitution law, then jurisprudence, administrative law, IPC, criminal laws, IPC and CRPC, somewhat of CRPC also they ask, and torts, then family law, right? So these subjects are there for CLAT UG. Now, how to prepare these subjects? Now, let me tell you that if you will analyze the last few past year papers, previous year papers, we see that lot of questions has been asked from constitutional law itself. However, I don't say that this subject is going to trump over the other subjects. I'm not saying that, but you need to give a special attention to this constitutional law, right? Because most of the things are correlated with each other. Because if you are learning IPC, then you have somewhere provision or some article in constitutional law as well. If you are reading CRPC, then also somewhere the article is related with the constitutional law, right? So if you are very well versed with the constitutional law, its articles, its schedules, and the preamble and the landmark judgments, then most of the things are sorted over there. And then the tertiary subjects, which are IPC, family, tort, contract, administrative law, jurisprudence, those can be covered up very quickly, and with that mindset that you already know somewhere that this was a provision in our Constitution of India, right? Now, this was the thing that you must know as a student if you're going to appear in a CLAT UG exam. Now, what are the boiling point strategies for this particular exam? So see, since we are having just 5 weeks in hand, you have to set a target every week. Because if you're not setting a target every week, then you will be lagging behind in finishing up your revision, right? So those who are preparing from months long, right, so they have to revise their notes. Those are prepared notes, and they have to revise it again and again, right? And best part would be that you should start your revision with the easier most subjects that you feel individually, because every student has their own easy and tough subjects. Like I may have constitution as my easy subject, but you may have IPC as your easy subject, right? So you should start the revision from easiest subject that you feel. And I'll tell you one thing, that the easiest subject is also your stronger point. That subject also becomes your strong point, right? Or your strong subject. So it's very important that you have to pick up those subjects which are quick and easy and strong, so that you do not miss any question of that. And you do not, yes, somebody is raising hand, Dev Pratim Lod. Yeah, so can we take questions right now or at the end?
No, actually, I am preparing for AIBE exam, so that's why I want to know more about this.
Okay, I'll come to that in the later session. I am right now telling you about the CLAT exams, because CLAT aspirants are also there. So I'll pick up that also. Okay, so just be patient. Yeah. So so this is the revision part. Secondly, that you have to set your timetable. And mind you, all of the aspirants which are appearing for any of the exams, whether it is AIBE, whether it is CLAT or judiciary or APO, these are the basics of any students to prepare just before the exams. Because revision, you have to do it. आपको रिविजन करना ही करना है, चाहे आपके पास पहले से भी बने नोट्स हो या आप अभी भी पढ़ना स्टार्ट करोगे, तो आपको रिविजन एक बार करना ही होगा. सेकेंडली, आपको एक टाइम टेबल सेट करना होगा. यू नीड टू सेट अ टाइम टेबल that how you will divide your day into what many subjects. So I will suggest you, because I'm here to tell you these things only, that take 3 subjects for each day for revision. So in the first half of the day, when you are very fresh and you are with all your energy, try revising the subject that is the easiest one. You will say कि easy वाला सुबह सुबह करेंगे, इससे अच्छा तो strong मतलब जो difficult है वो वाला करें. But no, you should not take up the difficult one, because if you start the difficult subject in the morning, by the end of the day you will drain energy and your time will be lost, and you will feel कि आपका target भी achieve नहीं हुआ है उस दिन के लिए. So it's great to boost your confidence with the easiest subject in the first half of the day when you get up and sit down for your studies. Second half of the day, when you are post lunch and that afternoon comes, so it is quite drowsy, and also you can take the second easiest subject that you feel. And at last, when you are totally drained out, you can take current affairs. Before going to bed, you can take current affairs, because current affairs is something that you have to update every day. You have to have a very good knowledge for the past 6 months. So I would say if the exam is in December, so you should be very, very well versed of all the GK and this current affairs or legal current affairs from January 22 to at least August 2022. Okay, so this might be taken at the end of the day. So in this way, you are not only preparing your law subjects, you are also preparing the other subjects at hand on a daily basis. Now, apart from this, very important thing is another important thing for every exam, I'm telling again, that you have to solve the past year papers. Because if you do not solve the past year papers, सबसे पहले तो you won't understand how and what type of questions are coming in the previous year paper, right? So it is very important to go through the previous year patterns. तभी हम लोग कहते हैं कि pattern क्या था exam का, what was the cutoff, was it easy, difficult, moderate, what? So we would come to know about the difficulty level of that paper, of that exam. Then we will be knowing about that हम कितने पानी में हैं, where do we stand if we are solving those papers, and what are the areas that we have to improve, and what are the areas which are stronger enough to maybe revise at last, or maybe revise at the very approaching days. So in this way you will have a lot of points to understand after you solve past year papers or the mock test. So चूंकि हमारे पास अभी सिर्फ 5 weeks बचे हैं, so you should practice mock test every day, or you should solve past year papers every day for any exam, I'm telling, for any exam, right? So you will come to know, and with timer, if you are given 90 minutes for an exam, you should solve the paper in 90 minutes with honesty. If you are given 120 minutes, you need to solve that paper within 120 minutes, right? So this timer, this honesty, and solving the question has to be there. One more thing I want to tell you all from my experience when I was giving exams, that always solve the question from that part of the section of the paper which is again easiest for you. So this is a tactic to make ourselves self-confident. We get to boost our energy with that. And if your English is very strong, let's say for CLAT, or for other AIBE exams, if you are, let's say, Transfer of Property Act is very strong, then you should start with those questions, right? Because you will obviously trace out that which questions are from which part of the subjects. So in CLAT it is divided very nicely, but maybe in AIBE it is jumbled form. So you need to trace out the questions and sections that are strongest for you, and those are easiest for you. So you can start attempting those questions first and the difficult one at the last. So this is a tip about cracking the exam on the D-Day, right? Now again, coming back to preparing of the exam. So as you know that for CLAT, legal reasoning, passage questions are coming. So 450 words passages are coming, and there are many passages on the recent issues, the current legal issues. So that is why your current affairs should be very strong, because based on those current affairs only a legal issue or a passage is made, and then the questions are given. So then these questions are maybe surprising, but for that what you will do that you have to read newspaper every day in the morning. I'm not saying the whole newspaper, that becomes very monotonous and it's not possible to just finish a newspaper in very quickly in 10 minutes, but the highlights of the newspaper you can read, and the best is editorial. So editorial part, if you will read, then you will get to know that judicial points are given. 2-3 judicial points every day in newspaper you will find out. So rather you go for the headings if you are a very expert newspaper reader, or if you are moderate one, then also you go for highlights as well as the editorial part, so that you are well versed with what current happenings are there, especially related to law, right? So read and read, because the passages are there and questions based upon are there. So there has to be understanding, and if you will read the newspaper you will also develop a very good speed, because speed matters in these exams. So even though you are knowing the answers of the questions but you are not able to solve that in time, that will again be a uh, it's gonna harm you. So it's very necessary to read a passage every day, whether it's from your mock, whether it's from newspaper, or whether it's from your previous year paper. You need to develop that habit of speed reading, right? After that, one more thing which I used to do during my examinations was I used to prepare a small note, a note of my targets, that this much I will complete by the end of this week. And daily targets and hourly targets are also very important. So daily targets may, suppose if I'm choosing law of contracts, so if I'm left with doctrine of restitution, or maybe traceability or minors contract, so I will just note down this in my note diary, and as soon as I will read all those topics, as soon as I will revise these topics, I will check out them. So it gives another very accomplished feeling that these were the topics which were left in my current revision syllabus or current subject, and these are being done, these are over now, no more studying this. So this is again a very very fruitful way of completing your syllabus in time, right? After this, I would also say that at the end, for every exam you should also draw all those topics which are important and which has a lot of weightage in the exam. So even if I tell you about judiciary, or if I tell you about APO or AIBE or CLAT PG or UG, you need to know that which subjects are there which has more weightage, which subjects are there which are having a maximum number of questions in the past years. So like if we talk about CLAT PG, so in CLAT PG in 2020 there was 0 questions from environmental law, but in 2022 we have got almost as 22 questions, and last year it was 18 questions. So that means the pattern keeps on changing, but since we are looking at the previous 2 papers, then there is a possibility of coming 20 or 15-20 questions from environmental law. So that means this subject is important from point of view of at least having a basic idea of those important topics which are inherent in this particular subject. right? So that is why I would say that you have to look out for those subjects that are having more weightage in the exams, and thereby, even if you're less to less time, you need to have some kind of a holding or a basic idea about that subject, right? Now coming on to CLAT PG. This was all about CLAT UG. Now coming on to CLAT PG. Now CLAT PG is objective as well as subjective paper. So again, you have passages over there. Objective questions are on those passages. So again, few of the fundamentals remain the same, that you have to read and read. You have to set targets. You have to make daily routine or your timetable. And again, here also revision is very important for those people who have already done a chunk of syllabus completion, and rest of you who are in the revising stage, you need to revise more and more. So again, those people who have not at all started with the uh, preparation, I would still say that you have a chance to crack CLAT, either it's UG or PG. Why? Because these subjects, if you are able to know that how are they going to put up a question in the exam and how many questions are going to come from each subject, then you are able to crack at first hand. This is what I am telling you from my experience, because even I have given the CLAT for the first time and I have prepared it in 1 month. So this is my tricks and tips that I have followed during a 1 month period, and then I have cracked it. So what are the tips that again is very important over here? That here also the major role which is played by one subject is constitutional law. So constitutional law again is a very important subject in point of view of CLAT PG, because maximum questions, I mean around 60 marks question comes from constitutional law, and another 60 marks come from other laws. So other laws may be administrative law, labor law, environment law, and taxation, all of these. So of course you have to learn other laws as well, but not more than constitutional law. So here again, constitutional law plays a very vital role, and you have to prepare it very well. So now I will also share with you the tricks how to remember the articles and schedules of the constitutional law in my next live webinar. एंड देयर यू विल अंडरस्टैंड कि कैसे फटाफट आपको कोई भी आर्टिकल हो या कोई भी शेड्यूल हो, वो बिल्कुल आपको ऑन योर फिंगर टिप्स याद रहेंगे. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, बिकॉज इसमें फिर आपको ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लगेगा सॉल्विंग द क्वेश्चन. सो यू वुड अंडरस्टैंड द पैसेज एंड यू विल directly jump on the questions and you will solve it. ठीक है. Now जो ये पैसेज बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, these are also important in a way that you have to prepare it with the upcoming legal issues. Again, over here also the upcoming legal issues. So if you have got a very good hold on the current legal issues that is happening, so uske liye what you have to do is nothing. You will have to just enroll yourself in certain good websites, those who are presenting you with the upcoming legal current issues. Okay. And apart from that, you can also subscribe certain magazines which are giving you highlights of January, let's say. Then you can have highlights of February. So in those things you would come to know that what has happened all in January and what has happened all in February, and likewise. So in this way you will come to know about the upcoming legal issues. So there have been many legal issues, right? So in this way you will come to know about that. Yeah. Now again, here mock tests and your this previous year papers, They also play a vital role because again you will come to know that how much preparation is left, how much more you need to revise a subject where you have to improve. Okay, so don't take your mocks and don't take your previous year papers very lightly. Don't take it for granted, because that's the actual position which will tell you that how much you need to go for more. Okay, so this was all about CLAT PG. Now, coming on to AIBE, I think many of you are appearing for All India Bar exam. So now, All India Bar exam is a very different kind of a exam where we see that it looks easier, it seems easier, but it's altogether a different ball game because everybody thinks कि हमारे पास open book examination का एक बहुत अच्छा वो है, like we have this very easy system of looking into the bare acts and then finding out the answers and then putting. But my dear aspirants, I would like to tell you that the paper setters of AIBE do not make such an easy paper. Why? Because knowing that the system is so everybody know that you are allowed to take the bare act, but at the same time what paper setters do is they jumble up the questions, like the first two questions will be from, let's suppose, TPA, then they will have from CRPC, then they will have from IPC, then they will have from Constitution. So they will jumble up the whole paper, family law and all of that. So now when you will start attempting that paper, you would feel कि अब इस bare act को खोल करके let's find out the answer. Now let's pick that bare act and find out the answer. So you will feel very haphazard. So in that case, what's the best idea is that you should again know that which subjects are the most important ones. Which subjects are the ones which have more questions from the past year paper analysis. So according to my analysis, I'll just tell you which are the subjects which are going to be very much, they have hold quite a lot of questions. I'll just tell you. So it's again Constitution, it's amendments, alternative dispute resolution, civil procedure amendments, criminal law amendments, 101 amendments of constitutional law, criminal law amendment 2013 and 15. So what I have find out that mostly the questions are from these bare acts. So which means these bare acts you have to carry definitely. Apart from this, if we see that the syllabus runs, then we have Consti, CRPC, CPC, IPC, evidence, contract, family, torts, and all of that, right? So in this evidence, CRPC and IPC is very important. So this has to be again on your fingertips. आपको बिल्कुल bare act अच्छे से पता होना चाहिए. I'm not saying that you have to mug up. Bare acts you never have to mug up. You need to repeat and revise again and again those sections, and ultimately you will hang on it there. So for even it is for articles in the Constitution, you have to revise and repeat so that you know that what is the marginal note, or which you call as the heading, and what is the explanation, and then what is the related case law, and what is the new GK which might have come, right? So this is how you read a section. So you have to jot down those important bare acts. You have to, as I've told you, that few of the bare acts are important, which I've already told you. Apart from this, also you need to know that how many subjects you need to prepare at least for AIB, because you will be assessed not less than 20 subjects in AIB. तो 20 सब्जेक्ट्स तो आपको 20 सब्जेक्ट्स के ऊपर आपको एसेस किया जाएगा इस पूरे एग्जाम में. बट उन 20 सब्जेक्ट्स को इन 5 हफ्तों में आप कैसे पढ़ पाओगे, इसके लिए आपको you have to tune in, because I will be dealing with all these things in the next classes, right? Or the next sessions, what we'll have. So, these are the few various, you would say, tips and strategies that you have to think about AIB. AIB has lot of questions, and each questions you get less than 2 minutes. So again, here speed matters. So if you know how to find answers from your bare acts speedily, then you are able to attempt that question, right? So यहाँ पे भी time का ही खेल है, right? So you have to be very vigilant in terms of your memory and your interpretation of the statutes, because if you are uh, having a revision, a great revision, you have repeated it, you have sound knowledge of which section is where and what kind of question is asked, then it will be very easy for you to find out those answers if you are in doubt. And if you are 100% sure, then there is no matter of looking into the bare acts. So there has to be practice in finding out the answers as well. You need to find out the answers every day. For AIB students I'm talking about, you need to, because that is also practice. अब आप ये सोचोगे कि अब उस दिन एग्जाम में जाएंगे और 10-12 बेरैक्स ले आके वहीं पे जो भी क्वेश्चन आएगा उसी को देख करके मैं देख लूंगी, find out कर लूंगी, तो that is not possible. You have to maintain practice in finding out the answers, because you will be tested on memory and interpretation of statutes. ठीक है? So what bare acts you have to carry out, I have told you. You can also have certain kind of verification of your answers if you have got time, because sometimes the interpretation might differ. So if you are confused in the interpretation of a particular question, so you can still verify it in your bare acts. So all these tips and strategies are very important for AIBE, that is All India Bar Exam. All right. Now coming on to judiciary or APO. So I'm taking both these exams simultaneously because more or less the syllabus is same, more or less the strategy is same to crack it. So here I would like to say that, whenever you were starting the preparation for judicial exams or APO, the fundamentals again remain the same, that you have to go for previous year paper, past year papers, mock test, revision, timetable and all of that. Apart from this, you can, and identifying the important subjects and all of that. Apart from this, you have to solve the subject wise quiz and the whole paper quiz along. Like for example, if there is a subject evidence, so I would not only solve the questions just from evidence, but I would also solve the questions from whole of the syllabus, which will include all the subjects, right? So single subject quizzes and the whole syllabus quiz has to be solved. Quiz as in mocks, I'm talking about mocks or previous year papers, whatsoever. Now in these 5 weeks, you need to also give or devote time per day at least 8 hours, because if you're not studying 8 hours, then you are lagging behind in completion of your target. So every day, again this goes for every exam, that every day you need to set your target and you need to devote time for 8 hours, and you can't miss a day, because anyway we are left with just 5 weeks. So you cannot miss your target, you cannot miss any of your timetable, right? So 8 hours every day of studying, and that's enough for cracking any of the exam. So in APO and judiciary, again 5 or 6 subjects are very important as per my analyzation from the past years and previous year papers, that you must have to be very precise and very much good with it, and that is IPC, CRPC, CPC, evidence, family law, and constitution. But constitution, a bit, not too much, a bit. But these 5 subjects has to be on your fingertips. You should know it for like forever. So you should revise and repeat all these sections from all these subjects, and try to make the notes very simple and short, because right now you are in the revision stage. Right now, even if you're not in the revision state, then also when you will revise just before the D day, just before your exam, you must have very simple, one just one small paper, and just the quick points has to be there. What you have forgotten, or what you want to remember at last, what you are forgetting while you are studying. So you need to do that, right? So just make simple and short notes, which with a minimum notes and all of that. Don't write too much, just pointers. Apart from that, you can also highlight those points which are important and crucial for the exam point of view, as well as those points which you are forgetting a lot. So just highlight those points. Thirdly, that you should also make flow charts and some kinds of templates. Templates as in boxes and all. Then flow charts. So it will again boost up your revision, because you will just know the steps कि अच्छा पहले ट्रायल होता है, फिर इन्वेस्टिगेशन होता है, फिर ये सारे स्टेजेस हैं. तो स्टेजेस ऑफ ट्रायल, तो इसको एक फ्लो चार्ट में बना लिया फटाफट. ठीक है. सो ऑल दीज टिप्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द क्विक रिविजन. तो आपने एक सेक्शन लिखा जो आपको बार बार आप जिसको भूल रहे हो. अब ऐसा तो नहीं सारे सेक्शन लिखोगे, बिकॉज फॉर दैट बेयर एक्ट इज देयर. So suppose I am not able to remind myself section on arrest. So I will write that section. I will explain it. I will write the case law. I will write the current GK on that particular section. So इससे क्या होगा कि अगर मुझे कहीं भी DK Basu versus State of West Bengal मिलेगा, so I will immediately note that this is the landmark case on arrest. So in that way, whole of your sections will be covered in every aspect, in current affairs also, in landmark judgments also, in case laws also, every time, every kind of a way. So this section, explanation, latest case, GK, everything has to be there. Again, past year or mock test आपको देने ही है इसमें, because I have seen what I have seen, because I have given Rajasthan, Delhi and UP judiciary. So 70% of the questions are repeated. घुमा घुमा के वो कुछ ना कुछ होगा, not directly, but indirectly they would have the 70% of the papers repeated. Okay, and इसीलिए मैं बार बार आपसे बोल रही हूँ that find out those questions which are repeated. You need to jot it down and don't mug it. Just revise it, repeat it. Now for this as well, you need to have a mentorship, because अगर आपके पास mentorship नहीं होगा ना, तो आपका जो जोश है वो ठंडा हो जाता है. So होते क्या है कि the beginning is very energetic, but at the middle of the preparation you feel like अब मुझसे नहीं हो रहा है, या फिर I feel that there is a slowdown in my preparation. So you need to have certain positive peer support. So you need to have some healthy competition running simultaneously along with you. So when you will join certain crash courses, or you will join certain kind of revision boot camps or something like that, maybe enroll yourself in those, then you will find a positive peer support, a healthy competition, and you will have also that kind of energy maintained through the mentorship, because आपके जो भी mentor होंगे, whosoever will be taking up these courses for you, he or she will let you understand that where to improve, where to leave it, how much time to devote on what subject, and which topics are important, how many case law should we write for the mains exam, and what are the ideal answers maybe, or how to set a target plan, how to study 20 hours for a day and still not get exhausted and be in that same flow. So these are the things which the mentors give you. You can't have it. Maybe you can have it for the first week, but maybe not later. So this is why we are there. This is why the mentors are there to uh, guide you and make yourself on that path of achieving your target. बहुत लोग का ऐसा भी होता है that they have this FOMO, or they have this quiet quitting, but you should always remember that you should listen to everything but do it what you think is the best for you, because सबका टाइम टेबल सेम नहीं हो सकता, सबके टारगेट सेम नहीं हो सकते. So you have to keep that in mind, right? So now I'll take up the questions if anybody has.
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, Akshat.
Very good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, I am in currently third year of LLB. So, and I am aiming for CLAT PG and judiciary consequently. So, what should be my strategy? Like, how should I balance these two goals? Like, should I go for prelims first, and then if I clear, then for CLAT PG, or any plan which I can take up at this point of time with regards to preparation?
Okay, see, Akshat, first of all, I want to congratulate you that you are very clear that what you are going to do, and so
Thank you.
early. Yeah, because generally students are not at all clear even if they have passed out their LLB. So it's good time you have left, as well as it's good time to start. So third year, your major subjects have already come into picture. Fourth year and fifth year, again, lot of more subjects would come that will hit your judiciary. But for CLAT PG, I think most of the subjects now you are having in your hand, and you are studying right now. So right now, what I will suggest you that you should start preparing the common subjects, जो जुडिशरी और CLAT PG दोनों में आते हैं. ठीक है, तो जैसे हमारा ये 5 सब्जेक्ट्स है which comes commonly in both the exams, IPC, tort, contract, family law, right? So ये जो these 5 subjects हैं, you have to start preparing on those subjects, and then when you will reach in 4th year and 5th year, then you will have all the procedural law. Mostly you'll have like taxation and all those. So somebody has commented, okay, I'll come on to that. Yeah, so you can just choose and pick these subjects which are common, right? Apart from that, PG is also very lucrative. Yeah, this point I just recalled it right now, that CLAT PG is also very lucrative for the students, because if you are among the 10% of the toppers in CLAT PG, then you are also able to join any PSUs. Okay, like we have BAIL and SAIL and ONGC. So many of my friends have joined. They have secured AIR 1 or AIR 28 or AIR 14, 15, like that. So they have joined consequently, and they are, after completion of their LLM, they are very much into these government sectors. So it's very good that you should start right now for CLAT PG, and you would definitely crack it.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. Any other question? Okay, सूर्या खुने राइट्स एक साथ 2 या 3 स्टेट जुडिशरी के एग्जाम की तैयारी कैसे करें. ओके, सो राइट, मेरे साथ भी ये हुआ था. सो आई टेल यू सूर्या दैट मैंने दिल्ली, राजस्थान और यूपी की तैयारी एक साथ की थी, राइट? एंड सी, दिल्ली में क्या है, बहुत ज़्यादा कंटेक्चुअल बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, ठीक है. राजस्थान में बहुत लैंग्वेज बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, एंड यूपी में remains the same pattern, matlab mixture of all. So again, what you have to do is figure out that what is the exam pattern of every state. It's not easy to prepare इतने सारे स्टेट्स का एक साथ. बट अगेन आई एम सेइंग कि ये जो 4-5 सब्जेक्ट्स है ना, उस पर आपका कमांड होना चाहिए, और वो वही है CRPC, CPC, एविडेंस, IPC, ऑल दी सब्जेक्ट्स, राइट. तो इस पे अगर आपका कमांड है ना, तो आप एटलीस्ट ये तीनों स्टेट्स को टारगेट कर सकते हो, या किसी भी और 3 स्टेट्स को, बिकॉज आप कौन से स्टेट्स को टारगेट करो आई डोंट नो. So you have to find out the commonality between these 3 states, right? Or again, I'm telling you that you have to be very well versed with your GK and GS both, because Hindi language, right. So yeah, Hindi language again plays a very important role. इसको हल्के में बिल्कुल नहीं लेना है. मैंने शुरुआत में काफ़ी हल्के में लिया था, लेकिन later on I came to know that Hindi language bears a lot of marks and difficulty level in Rajasthan state judiciary, right? तो इसीलिए you need to prepare it very well. और ये जो डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ पैटर्न है ना अलग अलग स्टेट का, इसको आपको पूरी तरह से फॉलो करना है. जैसे कि आपको ऐसे राइटिंग करना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि आपका जब आप देखो, जब भी आप किसी भी ऐसे 3 स्टेज एग्जाम्स की तैयारी करते हो ना, प्री मेंस इंटरव्यू, तो आप मेंस को टारगेट करते हो, क्योंकि जब आप मेंस के लिए पढ़ाई करोगे तो आपकी प्री भी ऑटोमेटिकली तैयार होगा. सो मेंस में आपका आंसर राइटिंग भी आता है, आपके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स भी आते हैं, राइट. ऑब्जेक्टिव्स मैं क्यों बोल रही हूँ कि ऑब्जेक्टिव्स में एज इन कि आपको जब आपका ऑब्जेक्टिव्स रेडी हो जाएगा तभी आप उसका एक्सप्लेनेशन करके आंसर राइटिंग कर पाओगे, राइट. सो इन दैट वे आई एम टेलिंग यू, नॉट कि वो ऑब्जेक्टिव है, तो सब्जेक्टिव है, ठीक है. तो इस वजह से आपको बहुत ही वेल वर्स्ड होना पड़ेगा कुछ सब्जेक्ट से, राइट. तो उसके लिए आप फ्लो चार्ट्स बनाने शुरू करो. मैंने बहुत सारे फ्लो चार्ट्स बनाए. मैं आगे जब भी हमारा नेक्स्ट सेशन होगा ना, आई विल शेयर ऑल दीज थिंग्स. मैंने फ्लो चार्ट्स बनाए, मैंने टेम्पलेट्स बनाए हैं, क्योंकि कभी कभार ये भी होता है कि आप किसी एक आंसर को इतना डिटेल्ड में लिख देते हो कि आपको बाकी के आंसर्स का बिल्कुल भी टाइम नहीं होता है लिखने के लिए. सो इन दैट केस व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज कि आपको फटाफट से स्टेप्स या कुछ फ्लो चार्ट्स बनाने होते हैं, और एग्जामिनर को बस ये बता देना होता है कि आई नो दिस आंसर, ठीक है. तो ये सारी चीजें. ओके, एनीथिंग एल्स? एनीबडी एल्स हैज अ क्वेश्चन?
I don't think there is any other doubt from anyone. So thank you so much, ma'am, for such a wonderful session. I would like to proceed with the thank you note. I take immense pleasure in rendering today's vote of thanks to Dr. Nidhi Singh Arora, ma'am. On behalf of the whole organization, I thank you all for connecting with us and enlightening our participants on this topic. I thank the participants who have joined us today. Thank you for your cooperation and enthusiasm. Lastly, I would like to thank the team of the EduLaw for providing such an outstanding opportunity to its participants. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us today.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.